this is so good.
Thank you. It's one of my favorites.
You're gonna turn this to a dating show.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Man gonna be trying to get you, and different people that are guests gonna be trying to get your guests.
That's hilarious.
That's so good.
It'd be like that.
You talking about me? A succulent meal.
These teenagers. How
So
was the food? We're starting there.
how was the food? The food was great. I loved it. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
It was love at first bite.
We're left now. So, like I said, you're here because I want to know more about you. What makes Kevo tick, right? I met you in 2011.
Yeah, you remember when I was at the tail end of selling drugs, when I was stopping,
That's crazy.
when I was like done
And
selling drugs.
what's funny is, because I got my tattoo from you, right? And you were my first like really big piece, and I worked at Food Town, right? And there was a girl there that worked there. Her name was Jessica.
Oh, yeah, my sister.
And she was like, "You should go to my brother for a tattoo." And I was like, "Yeah, okay, cool. But there's this guy that I saw on Facebook. I'm going to him, right?" And she was like, "What's his name?" I was like, "I don't know. I can't remember, but I'm going to him." Like, I was very specific about, you were my birthday present. I wanted a tattoo from Kevo, right?
Yeah.
And so I go, I get my tattoo. It's a whole vibe. You're cool as hell. And I go back up to Food Town, and she's like, let me see. And I show her the work, and she's like, damn, that's really good. She was like, whoever that is needs to meet my brother. Right? And I was like, bro, who's your brother? And she was like, what's this guy's name? I was like, oh, his name is Kevin. That's because now I had met you, right? She was like, Kevin.
Yeah.
Kevo. Kevin. I was like, yeah, Kevo. And she was like, that's my brother. I said, no. She pulls out your picture and she shows it. She's like, this is my brother. I said, small world.
Yeah,
okay.
It is small.
Yeah.
I have 14 sisters. I met all of them at different ages.
Okay.
That's scary, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of them, actually, I said all of them. Some of them I haven't even met because, like, they're half or they're like, you know, like they're like my sister's sister or something.
How does that work out? What's that?
It just was like growing up in the split household. It's weird. It's weird.
But you said your uncle is Nigerian.
Yeah, my dad is Nigerian.
Okay.
My mom is Black American. My mom passed a couple years ago, but I met them both. I wasn't raised by my mom and dad.
Okay.
So some of my siblings are, like, for example, my older sister, she has 4 sisters. So I count them as my sisters.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I need to draw this out.
So like it would be like
get the family tree.
It would be like, okay.
And so when did you figure out that you were good at tattooing? Like, when did you start drawing? How did that go about?
Well, I wasn't good at tattooing until I realized I was bad at tattooing.
Okay. Who gave you your first shot at trying that out?
Well, it's just that I was tattooing when I got out of jail. I was tatting at the house. And to the people who don't really understand art, my first audience, it looked good to them because it looked good to me. You know what I mean? I know how to draw. But as I grew as a tattoo artist, as I grew in popularity, started going to expos and stuff, I started realizing like, oh, I'm not really good at tattooing. And to be honest with you, a lot of tattoo artists are not really good at tattooing.
Okay.
I made a post recently and I was like, I'm better than your tattoo artist. Because like so many people call tattoo artists good. And it's like, they're really not that good. But yeah, so once I realized I really sucked and I started growing, maybe that was like a couple years after yours. Like, so maybe 2012 is when I really started getting better at tattooing.
So I have shoddy work, is what you're saying. We need to go ahead and fix that.
Okay, like it looks nice at first look, but once you learn what I've learned, 2 degrees later, a couple certificates.
I mean, I still get
Yeah,
so many compliments
I
on
feel
it.
you. I feel you.
It's
It's not
definitely,
bad work, but
yeah.
it's not like I wouldn't be like, oh, this is my best work. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Something I did that long ago.
It was a caliber that I had not
Yeah, yeah,
seen
yeah.
yet,
It was
you
it
know?
was still better than
Right,
the average tattoo artist. I
right.
will say that. I have always been a couple steps ahead. I'll say that.
Okay. Thank
Yeah.
you for not being humble about your talent, because
I
you
can't
have,
be.
like you've always been
Yeah.
really, really, at least when I discovered you.
Yeah,
Nah.
yeah, yeah. I can't be humble about it. It's not. It's impossible to be at this point. Like you will miss out on opportunities being too humble sometimes because people
Yeah.
need to know.
People do need to know. That's why you're here.
Yeah.
I want them to know.
Yeah.
So, I know that you had at one point talked about starting like a coffee business.
Yeah, I did want to start a coffee shop.
And are you still going to pursue that?
That came from grief, I think.
Okay.
Maybe I will in the future because I learned a lot. I went to these different coffee expos, took these classes, got these certificates. But that came from, I think, when my wife died, that since our goal was for me to stop tattooing,
Okay.
start doing more theater, and open a coffee shop,
Okay.
I think I tried to live through her a little bit, and
Oh.
it wasn't for me.
Really?
And it takes a lot to admit that because people were begging me to tattoo, and I was like, I don't want to because she would always tell me like she would be like, you're more than a tattoo artist, but see, it's different like now because I don't have a person to do theater with,
Mm-hmm.
but when you have somebody that's like reading your plays and helping you produce them, it's a big deal when they pass away. It's a big deal when anybody passes away, but for somebody in my shoes, to that magnitude, it was crazy. So I think that was a grief response, me trying to continue what we were doing, and then it made me relate to a lot of single mothers, to be honest with you, because I had to admit I didn't have the capacity to do it.
Okay.
So I'm like, yeah, I as much as I want to, I cannot take care of my kids, open a tattoo shop, do art, open a coffee shop. You know what I mean? As much as I would like
studio. You have a
yeah,
whole entire studio.
yeah.
How many rooms does the studio have?
My new studio has 5 areas, but I use 4. I use 1.5 for storage. It has 6 areas. And I use 2 for storage, so I'll say 4. It has a photography studio that I allow photographers to rent out or people to come do photo shoots. Has my painting studio where I teach painting and do painting, my own painting. Has a tattoo studio where I tattoo in Paris, and it has a really big event space that people rent out. Somebody's actually renting it right now. So yeah, I'm not even there.
So you're making money while you're not at work.
I got cameras though, but
yeah. That's success.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like do you ever step back and say, wow, I can't believe I'm in this space right now when you're standing there?
Nah, I tried to force that. And
No.
I just want more. Like even a part of me wants to because I know it's healthy for others to see it. But my best example that I have is you came to my play, Who Stole the Mona Lisa? The play before that, one of my friends came and he said, I wish you would have talked more about the play after. And he was like, because it's pretty cool what you're doing. Like people want to know this type of stuff.
Yeah.
And I told him I had to go write the Mona Lisa play. I had to go finish writing it. So I said, but next time I'm going to do it. But when I did Mona Lisa, I left to go write. I forgot everything he said. So I'm trying to get better at getting in the moment to say, because it's good for the audience. Right. It's not just good for me. I'm saying that to say, after Who Stole the Mona Lisa, I should have told y'all about the next play.
Yeah, because, okay, so how many plays have you written at this point? You lost count? Yeah. You've lost count? Oh my gosh. I know I've gone to North 2 of them.
What? North of 50.
So, okay, before you started doing plays, though, when I had a couple of years after you and I had met, I remember you started doing like movies. You were
Yeah, yeah,
trying for
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
TV
yeah.
movie
And I came from
situations.
an acting background, a theater background.
Okay,
That the plays have always been here. Melinda just the only person that knew. You know
okay,
what I mean?
right,
So I was already doing theater every now and then. So
okay.
theater made me want to do a movie. So I did film a few movies and co-produced a few movies, acted in a few movies. But I always wanted to. I've always loved theater more than film.
Can we watch those movies still?
Yeah,
Where
I
are
have movies on YouTube.
they?
I have a short film called Nerdy Nate, like Nate, Nerdy Nate.
Nerdy Nate, Nerdy Nate.
Yeah. uh, a short film I wrote that rhymes called 27 Grams. It's like my Bill Cosby moment. It's like an educational street film. I say Bill Cosby because a lot of people don't know what he's actually done. He's done a lot of films. A lot of people don't really just know him from the Cosby Show, which is crazy. And his scandal.
Yeah, I was gonna say I feel like Scandal
That
ruins
scandals
his
ruins your legacy. Yeah,
legacy.
scandals ruin our legacy. Um, I did Trapped, which is the most popular film. I did movies that haven't came out too. I did a few movies that haven't came out. I've been in a lot of movies as well. I think YouTube shows most of them, but my trailers to my stage plays are all on YouTube, and some of my plays are on Amazon. And I just signed a not signed a deal. I just did a deal. Like you do this first screening and clearance thing first. I just so they pitch you an offer with one of my stage plays that the public haven't really seen yet.
Okay.
So I'm waiting on that.
What's your next play?
My next play is a Salem witch trial this October. So I did my own take on the story and I made it funny.
Okay.
Yeah, I wrote two versions. I wrote a serious one and a funny one.
Okay. I know I'm gonna be there.
And
Like I know I have to
so
go
I
see it.
had some of my core cast people I worked with do a table read with me. And I wanted them to read the serious one, but I was like, let's read the funny one first.
Okay.
And it's no going back. Once you read something funny, it's kind of no going back. You kind of don't want to do the serious stuff. So
And your core group of actors, they
just people I trust, actors I trust, whether they're going
okay.
to be in it or not.
Okay.
You know, that's the line of respect you have to have. Like they have to understand that, hey, I may not cast you, but I need a favor. You know what I mean? Just like they can call me and say, hey, can you help me with this self tape audition? Hey, can you read these lines for me?
Right.
Can you record this for me? You know what I mean? Like,
that's dope.
yeah. So it's the resources. You got to use your resources. Your people are your resources sometimes.
I kind of want to go back to Bill Cosby legacy because what you're doing is building legacy. But I did see that you just did a interview with Felicia Rashad.
Oh yeah.
That's very
That was
cool.
Yeah, she had a workshop and she couldn't make it.
Okay.
So she was like, we can Zoom call instead.
Okay.
So she Zoom called us, and that's why she was on that big monitor. And I just wanted to ask her about producing, and it's a lot of stuff I didn't get to say to her because other people had to talk to her too. But one of my it's not the name is not coming to me, but I know I can describe the movie. One of my favorite movies is a Sidney Poitier film, and it's about it has the name Eden in it, like Garden of Eden. It's about this girl in New York who witnesses a murder, but the person didn't know that she saw them. So the murder puts her over the edge. She wants to change her life.
Okay.
Like it makes her want to get out of the streets, get an education, all this good stuff. So she goes and looks up. Remember, we had phone books back in the day. She looks up one of her teachers. I'm not that old, Kevin. She looks up one of her teachers' address and finds him. And it's played by Sidney Poitier. And he's like, I can't really help you, but he forces himself to help her change her life, right? and she ends up in the with her boyfriend.
Mm.
She she ends up meeting her boyfriend's brother, which is the killer.
What?
Yeah, it's crazy. And so the guy's trying to help her, but he don't know about this murder. Sidney Poitier is trying to help her, but he doesn't know that he has a messed up past too. His, I believe it's ex-wife. I think it was his ex-wife murdered somebody,
What book
and
is this? What movie is
he's
this? I need
living
to see
with
this.
this. He's living with this, but he's never showing it. But it's all he thinks about. Like when she's not on the screen, he's living with that. And that character is played by Felicia Rashad.
Okay.
And it's my first time ever seeing her act. I didn't see her act in Cosby Show.
Really?
I saw that first.
Oh.
So my point is like was my favorite movie as a kid, like one of my favorite movies. And then I started watching TV, and I was like, I used to always look at her like a murderer.
Because you can't go back. You can't go back.
It grew on me. I mean, she grew on me, but I talked to her about producing because that's what I want to be better at. Is because I could take off. My career could be, if not bigger, but as big as Tyler Perry.
I think
compared to a Jakarius Johnson, it could get big. You know what I mean?
For sure. In my mind, you are the Houston Tyler Perry. Like when I think about you, I'm like, oh yeah, he's going places. Like he's gonna be that.
But I'll say this: Jakarius Johnson is that person. Maybe you're not sure who he is, but he did the Set It Off play. He did the with Cole from Martin. He did a lot of plays on him. He's doing big stuff. I wish I could meet him and get some advice from him and pointers to know how to grow that way. But he's in his own lane. I don't even want to disrespect him and compare him to Tyler Perry because he's like I would be more of the next him than I would be. You know what I mean?
Okay. So you have people that you aspire
definitely
to, that you see that also motivate you.
Yeah, definitely.
That's dope.
Yeah, for sure.
Because when I look at somebody like you, I'm like, oh, he's already doing everything. Yeah. Like, who keeps him motivated to do the next thing?
I do it in my own way.
Right.
I'm not, like I said, it's crazy because Tyler Perry's success comes from Medea. He has a very Christian crowd. Jakarius Johnson's success it comes from him, in my opinion. He's licensing work, and so he's not really the talent. He's like the producer, whereas Tyler Perry is the talent that you're supporting. And mine is very organic. It's kind of odd how organic it is. It's like it's more raw. Like I'm not the show, but I'm the show. Like I've been some of my plays, I'm not in it, and people are there just because it's my play. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's something that I think that's unique that I have. Like whether I have a small role, big role, main characters, no character, people
are gonna show up.
Yeah, they show up to watch my plays. Yeah. So I think that's like the difference.
That's dope. And I was talking to a friend the other day, and he does a lot of things also. He's very busy. At least if you look at him, you think he's doing a lot, right? Yeah. And he's like, low key, I'm kind of lazy. But people don't know that because I have structure. Yeah, he's like, I have structure. I have a schedule, and I do things every single day. And so people think that I get a lot done, and I do. And I'm like, that's weird.
Yeah, not me. No structure.
No, see, that doesn't make any sense to me because it's like
the only structure I have is if somebody books me for something. If you book me, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be on time. I'm gonna be 20 minutes early.
Okay, as you were.
And I'm gonna do what I'm supposed to do, and I'm gonna leave. But no structure outside of that. The moment it ends, I'm doing some type of art.
So you don't have a routine. No. You don't wake up every day like this is what I'm doing. This is how it's going. I wake up at 5 a.m. type.
No, I don't. I know what I'm doing the next day, but I don't know how I'm doing it. I don't have I know for a fact I'm reading tomorrow. I don't know what time I'm reading. I don't know what I'm reading, but I read every day. Okay. I either write, draw, or paint every day. Whichever one I feel like doing, I pick one. Okay. So no, I don't write every day. No, I don't paint every day, but I do one of those. So if I know I'm scheduled for a lot of tattoos, then I know more than likely I'm going to probably end the night reading or something. But I don't have I make it I make myself productive over time. I
Okay.
make it to where, like, I make my daughter read at least one book a year, right?
Okay.
So, and some would say that's not enough, and some would be like, my kid doesn't even read one book.
Right.
But the way that I do it, I'm making her read this one book, but this book she really doesn't want to probably read it. So she ends up reading like 5 or 6 books that she wants to read. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Because she's like her
You're
interest.
trying to
Yeah.
get away
So
from it,
over
but
time, you just become more productive if you forcing yourself to be productive in small ways. It may not work for others, but it works for
I
me.
like that. I
Yeah.
think that's very attainable. Small steps versus
Yeah.
big picture. Sometimes, try to just.
Yeah, and I take notes. Let's say if I'm working on a script, I'll put a note on my phone like, you got to get back to this specific script, this specific
Okay.
scene, or something inspires me. Maybe I may be at the movies and a camera angle may inspire me. I'll take a note of it, and when I get free time, I look over my notes and say, okay,
So does that mean you work on multiple projects at a time?
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do they ever cross in your
Sometimes,
brain?
no, not in my brain. I
No.
compartmentalize. I'm narrow-minded,
Okay.
so I can't do two things at once. But I can do like I can say, oh, you need to finish that painting, but I'm not going to be thinking about that painting while I'm working on the script.
Okay.
Yeah. And I write in my head too.
Okay.
So I don't know if other writers do this, but I think that's another advantage that I take mentally because, like, how can I explain this? So you have to write in drafts. So when you write a movie, a novel, a book, anything you write, it's like it's not going to be good the first draft. It's going to be full of holes. The last draft might not be good.
Yeah.
Nobody's perfect. So I write it in my head. So when I'm thinking about it, I'm thinking about the story. I'm thinking about how it's going to begin, middle, end. That way, when I'm writing, it could just flow out. And I don't know if other people do this. I don't. I really don't know. I talk about this with my friends. I tell them I write in my head, but for me, it makes it flow I don't get writer's block because I already know what I'm about to write.
Yeah, because you already have an idea of beginning,
Yeah,
middle, end. So there
yeah,
should be certain. I guess you're filling in the details once
yeah,
you're hitting paper.
yeah. And then when let's say if I'm writing a scene and I can't, sometimes it just comes out because I thought this through. So if I'm writing, if I wrote scene 1 through 7 in my head, my brain will automatically just stop. I won't try to force scene 8 out. Like it's just not. I don't even think about it. I just okay. I'm done writing for the day, and it's off to the next thing.
Okay,
Like
that's what's up.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie though. Melinda did not like that. My late wife, for the audience, her name was Melinda. She did not like that I did that
Wow.
because she would be like, "He is not paying attention to you." Like I'll just be sitting in the corner and I would be writing in my head, and she would always say to my daughter or anybody, her mom, she's like, "He is not listening to me," but with an attitude, she's like, "He is over there thinking about what he's about to do tomorrow." She's so funny. She knew me very well though.
Yeah.
I don't know how she did it. I ain't gonna lie, because it's not easy.
How long were you guys together?
We were off and on since 2011 or 2010. We were off and on, and then we had that final talk about being intentional, being serious, and doing the theater stuff, and we got back together. And then that's obviously then she passed away, which is crazy.
Can I ask how, or
she she had cancer, but she didn't know she had cancer.
Okay.
And the type of cancer she had was rare and aggressive.
Okay.
So it was hard to detect. So she wouldn't have never knew she had it. Based on research, based on looking things up, based on what the doctor said, it's called AML. Okay. It's so aggressive and rare that you can kind of just be living and think you're just a little sick, and then it gets to stage 4 really fast. Yeah. So
from diagnosis to the end date, how long was that?
Within a week.
Wow. Did they tell you guys that it was gonna?
They didn't say it, but they said it. They were trying to push for chemo. So we got married February 9th. She went to the hospital February 10th.
That's crazy.
And she went brain dead on Valentine's Day.
That's wild.
Because the Super Bowl, I remember the Super Bowl was on, and I wasn't watching it, and I was like thinking like she's going to get out the hospital because they're about to do chemo in a couple of days.
Yeah.
But it was a weekend, so they were like those particular doctors only working on a week, so we had to wait till Monday. But she was gone by. She went into cardiac arrest. Yeah, like literally the day after we were married, she went to the hospital.
Wow.
Yeah, that was crazy.
And I mean, I imagine that's not what you were expecting.
No.
You know what I mean?
Like the process of that. I think I put this on Facebook recently. The process of that, as a man, you really want to avoid stuff.
Right.
Like that's the goal. Avoid the whatever you can't solve, disdain it. A lot of men do that. They may not admit it, but I had to process like this woman is about to die, whether I like it or not. Go take care of your kids.
Right.
Like that's literally all I had to do. So it was like one of them things to where she is not coming back. Like it don't matter if you miss her, nothing. She is not coming back. It's not. But other people that were close to her and some people that were close to me didn't like my processing because they were vocal about it. Like you don't care. And I'm thinking in my head like, y'all don't even know me like her. You know what I'm saying? No. Y'all know me, but she knew me. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like this is not
you had kids to take care of. You had a life to keep pushing forward.
Bro, this is not like it was crazy. It was like, yeah. But I said that on Facebook. I was like, when I was writing Salem, I thought about how much I was being judged for how I was processing my grief. And I was like, because Salem is about judging people. It's about saying that somebody's a witch and you don't even know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's really what the gist of that story is about.
People putting expectations on how you should behave, how you should show up.
And then they the ones that's really doing the wrong. You know what I mean? That's what Salem Witch Trial is about. So yeah, it's a lot. It's heavy, but it's like I've never related to single mothers so much. Like it's crazy. It's insane.
I want to ask more, but
you can.
I don't. Just for the sake of moving forward.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay. Because I'm a baby.
Oh, you don't want to cry?
No. So let's see.
Thank you for the water break.
You're very welcome.
Thank you for the water break.
Needed a quick pause so I could collect myself.
Okay,
Yeah. Other people have to live it, but I empathize. I can only imagine.
Yeah, it's crazy. Right? It's like you don't have time to. You just have to process it. If not, you're gonna be going crazy, crying. You're gonna go depressed. I even checked myself in the mental hospital to make sure I was okay twice. They didn't admit me, but I was like, I want to make sure I'm straight.
How does that work? Like
because they will not admit. They would ask you if you want to be admitted, and you can tell them yes or no, and they will say they can decide if you need to be admitted or not. And I was like, yeah, I do, because I just want to make sure that I'm mentally like stable. Like I don't want to fake it. You know what I mean? I don't want to just be out here. I want you to really evaluate me and make sure I'm fine. And it was like, to our knowledge, you're fine both times. The first time I couldn't stop crying, so I could barely talk.
Right. Okay.
And they were like, "You're just
grieving."
Yeah. They was like, "It's okay to let shit out." You know what I mean? And then the second time they were like, "No, it's fine, but thank you for coming," because they was like, "We send you up there, you're gonna be able to do some cuckoos." And they really crazy. And they recommended therapy, but therapy. Thing about therapy.
Therapy's tough, brother.
Is this is it's my opinion, but therapy it works. I just don't like how it works. Therapy is like it's too much of a reminder of what you don't want to think about.
It's like you spend a lot of years repressing things, and their entire goal is to get you to bring it back up to the surface. So then now you're in that state of grief again, or in that state of fear.
It's uncomfortable, yeah. Very. Therapy is like, I don't like the way it works, but it does work. Because it forces you to open up about it forces you to talk about it and all that. And that's the uncomfortable part. And I think people think therapy is some magical trick. It's not really like that. It's like a process.
It's exhausting.
Yeah. But and also I will say this: only check myself in when I didn't have my kids, because that's when it would really hit the hardest. Because they would keep me so busy that I didn't want nobody to have them, and then when they would go away, I would be like, damn, I'm stressed out. Like, you know what I mean? Especially being at the house alone. So that's crazy. Yeah.
And what is parenting? What did parenting look like then versus what it looks like now with Melinda versus
it
just
was
Kevo?
easier with her because all I had to do was I was parenting financially. I just had to provide financially, which is crazy because I see so many people complaining about that, and it's like, bro, I don't know what it is with this like this whole relationship stuff, but the kids they need both of their parents, but some things men aren't really capable of. So it's like for me, even with dating, like if I date somebody, I have a whole area of women that are not going to be considered. Like if you do not want to be a mother to somebody else's kids, I cannot date you. Like it's a new scenario. It's not a it's different than having a baby mama.
Right.
And, you know, because some people can say, I'm not dating nobody with a baby mama. Right, but like my
you have
parents' kids are gone. You know, she's gone. Like, so this is you can't just want me. You know what I mean? You have to either want both or want to be a mother. Like and not want me that much. You know what I mean? So it's like they're more important in my dating life. And that knocks out a lot of women, but to answer your question, it's like I went from like just being more of a provider and an enforcer to like seeing what's missing. Like I don't like putting my kids to bed. I like my kids to stay up all night. You know what I mean? That's not healthy though. You know what I'm saying? I don't like to have serious conversations with children. Women do.
Right.
Men like to teach lessons when the lesson needs to be taught, like not when they sense that it needs to be taught. I don't like to read the room. You know what I mean? I don't like doing that.
Okay.
So you can not like something and not be good at it and accept that. You know, sometimes you can have the emotional intelligence to know that you're it's not that you're not capable, but you're not capable of being effective at something. And that's and this is maybe sound gender biased to some people, but I don't care. I really think that it's a woman's job to parent more than it is a man's job. It's a different level of parenting.
Nurture.
You know, you can be it's nurturing, but you can be fun. This is my opinion too.
Right.
Like, you know, it's a strong opinion, but you can still be a fun parent and a nurturer. I'm just not that. I am literally not a nurturer at all. I don't have the bone in my body. Like I tell my daughters, I love them, I feed them, clothe them. I don't tuck them in. You know what I'm saying? And you don't know how that's affecting them. You don't know if they're thinking like, "Dang, my mom used to always tuck me in." You know what I'm saying? No. But like, it's just I can't fake it either. So it's just transparency as well. Right. You know what I'm saying? So it's like not that's why I said it's not to be too gender biasy, but it's like it is what it is. Like you can't really you're shown that absence is there, and a lot of more households go without a man. So for men to consistently complain about enforcing and providing is crazy to me. it's like what you're really like not that useful. That's why I guess that's why they say women make a house a home, because it's like I'm not saying that there aren't men who can do what I can't do, because there are, but it's just not the norm, is what I'm saying. It's not natural.
But I think you're judging yourself too harshly in that aspect also, because just because a woman has the capacity doesn't mean that she is automatically nurturing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's women out here who ain't shit.
There are mothers that are not mothering, right? So don't put that on yourself as a I'm not good at it. Maybe they're lacking. No, you're showing up. You're providing. You're being the parent they need you to be.
It's another scenario. Right. It's just this scenario calls for this.
Right.
Yeah.
You know. Sure, so I think at the end of the day, any child who has a parent who is present and who is consistent, they will recognize that, yeah, my parent fell short in some areas, but they really, really showed up for me in other ways.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Because you have your daughters and you integrate them into your plays. So you're definitely spending that quality time, because I feel that one of the most valuable assets that a man has is his time,
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
right?
Yeah.
So,
And that's one thing we do get. I can
right,
say that even when we weren't together, Melinda would say like he makes sure he has his kid, like or his kids. We
right,
for the second one we were together, but the first one we were off and on. So the quality time is not a factor. We get it, but it's just a different type.
right.
You know what I mean? There's a women have this thing, and this has been my experience for every woman in my life that men do not have. Y'all care, and like it's not that men are incapable of caring, but
Y'all care.
yeah, y'all just care. It's like it's weird. It's like um, how can I articulate this? What's the shortest way that I could articulate this? Maybe if I give a real time example. Sometimes Melinda used to come. I'll be writing downstairs, like I'll be working on my script or something, and she'll be like, "You need to go talk to your daughter." I'm like, "For what? We've been talking all day." You know what I mean? And she would just say her reason would be something that I wouldn't even think about. You know what I mean? And it takes
That perspective.
that much of noticing and caring to even think of whatever particular instant that was. And I'm like, okay, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it would always be geared towards some type of way that she may have felt about a particular thing that was said or responded or anything. But it's like I don't. It doesn't trigger me. Like it doesn't affect me. I can create a character that does that, like in a
Okay.
movie, but I can't. When you, it could be my upbringing. It could be me being shy, me going to jail, me being raised by different people. It could be me not having a mom. It could be that rough upbringing that has made me so strong in that stance of because that's how the women around me were. You know what
Right.
I mean? Maybe that's not other men's reality, but to my knowledge, I'm not
That's
really capable of carrying that much. Like it's very difficult.
it is what it is.
Yeah,
It happens,
yeah.
you know?
So it was hard to cast Van Gogh because nobody could paint that fast, and
Okay.
if they could, they couldn't act, and if they could act, they couldn't paint. So I was like,
Okay.
I can. Who can finish a painting and act? At the same time, I might as well just do it. Because it was a performance piece, so people didn't get it. It was hard to cast it. It was like it's an art performance, and painters was like, "Yeah, you give me a couple weeks." I'm like, "No, you need to paint it in like 30 minutes." They're like, "Fuck no!" Like, you know what I'm saying?
You're like, I'll do it.
Yeah, I had to do it. I literally
Yeah.
had to do it. So that was one of my comments. Some racist comment was like, "A black man go, I'll pass." And I was like, "Who else is gonna do it?"
Mm.
Idiot.
Yeah. People are weird.
Yeah, that was my for me. That was my hardest play, and I was so mad after. And Melinda was there to change my mind and
Yeah.
make me feel better. So that was good. I was pissed after that.
Hmm.
I was like, "There's no black people in the crowd. Like, it's not enough. Should be more." There's so many white. Not that white people are a bad thing, but I was like, "Bro, y'all gotta support me, man. Like,
Yeah.
I'm doing a lot of stuff, and
Yeah.
where y'all at?"
They don't know yet.
Yeah, but there was more black people. I was surprised for Who Stole the Mona Lisa. I got a bigger black crowd, which was crazy. With that title, I would think a lot of everything's not about race, but it's just from a producer standpoint of who's coming to my place.
Mm-hmm.
It was like only white people, and then Who Stole the Mona Lisa? Just a bunch of black people.
Because people are finding out, maybe.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, like,
yeah, yeah,
we want to support talent, we want
yeah.
to
That's
support
true. That's
artists.
true.
So,
Yeah.
so at the end of the day, after all is said and done, what would you consider your legacy to be?
That's a good question. question. This I would consider it to be in those talks of who's like the best artist, like when people argue Da Vinci and stuff like that,
Okay.
Picasso and stuff.
Kevo.
Yeah, I want to get my hand in there. You know,
Okay.
people can say, "Well, what about Kevo?"
Yeah, what about Kevo? I think one of my biggest regrets is that I have your art pieces, but they leave with me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah.
So I need to commission a painting from
Yeah.
you so that I can have actual art that I
Yeah.
can pass down to my children because I think your legacy is, you're very capable of
Yeah.
attaining that.
That's
And
cool.
I want that to be something that my children get to keep and that keeps going.
That's cool. I like that. 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 For sure. For sure. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for doing this with me. Thank you for giving me an opportunity.
For sure.
I appreciate this so much, more than I can even
You
say
see, I
right
finished my
now.
water.
Again, you are the thirstiest man I know. That could work for me. Oh, but anyway.